Teresa Giudice is an OG member of the Real Housewives of New Jersey cast. She has been part of the cast for the entire 14 seasons the show has been running. When RHONJ first started, it was only the second Housewives show on air. Recently, Teresa Giudice's ex-husband Joe opened up about the reality star's salary when starting on season 1. It is shockingly low. Keep reading to find out more. Joe Giudice spills the tea on his ex-wife's Housewives debut. Teresa Giudice started on the Real Housewives of New Jersey in season 1. She is a fan favorite and has been a part of all 14 seasons of the reality show. Reality stars often don't earn very much when they first debut on a show. However, the amount that Teresa made was staggeringly low. The reality star's ex-husband recently appeared on his daughter Gia's podcast, Casual Chaos, and he revealed what it was like when the family first started on the Bravo show. Joe Giudice revealed what it was like to join a Housewives show. Joe Giudice shared that his ex-wife, Teresa, was first contacted a year before she began filming. At the time, the family home was under construction, and the reality star was not interested in filming. However, the network loved her and continued to call her every day for a year. Joe revealed that once their home was complete, Teresa Giudice agreed to film for the first season of The Real Housewives of New Jersey. Season 1 of RHONJ debuted on Bravo on May 12, 2009. However, not everything went smoothly when Giudice filmed Season 1. Teresa Giudice's shocking salary has been revealed. Teresa Giudice's ex-husband Joe shared with the couple's daughter Gia on her podcast Casual Chaos that when Teresa first started filming for The Real Housewives of New Jersey, she actually lost money to be on the show. Joe admitted that his wife being a cast member on RHONJ cost the family more money than they earned from being on the Bravo show. He told Gia, "Once we signed, it was kind of like a big blur after that. I think the first year we had that big party in my great room. I think that show cost me $150,000 the first year." Gia Giudice told her dad that it costs more money to maintain the glitzy lifestyle featured on RHONJ than the stars make. Joe agreed with his daughter, saying, "We got paid nothing the first season. I'll even say it was like $25,000. It was ridiculous. But whatever." Gia Giudice confirmed her father Joe's statements. She told him, "You're putting in more money than you're actually getting out of it. Then obviously you grow and make your way and make your name." Gia Giudice recently moved to New York City to follow in her mother's footsteps. Gia recently joined the cast of Next Gen NYC, a reality series which follows the lives of Bravo celebrities' children. Teresa Giudice no longer has to worry about only making $25,000 a season on The Real Housewives of New Jersey. It has been reported that she currently makes $1.1 million per season. In addition, some sources report she makes $62,000 per episode. Teresa Giudice's Season 1 RHONJ pathetic salary revealed. When we think of Teresa Giudice today, we think of glamour, table-flipping drama, best-selling cookbooks, bodybuilding competitions, and her unshakable role as one of Bravo's most iconic housewives. But back in 2009, when The Real Housewives of New Jersey first premiered, Teresa was not yet a household name. She was a suburban mom with big hair, big dreams, and even bigger credit card bills. And shockingly, the paycheck she received for her first season was nowhere near the fame and fortune she enjoys now. In fact, compared to the millions she has gone on to earn, Teresa's Season 1 salary has been described as downright pathetic. Let's dive into the backstory, the context, and the transformation that turned a modest Bravo paycheck into one of the most lucrative housewives' careers of all time. The birth of RHONJ. The Real Housewives franchise was still young when Bravo greenlit a New Jersey spin-off. The Real Housewives of Orange County had premiered just 3 years earlier, and New York City and Atlanta were gaining traction. The idea of following affluent women in Franklin Lakes and surrounding towns was both risky and thrilling. New Jersey had a reputation for flashy style, family loyalty, and explosive personalities. Enter Teresa Giudice, along with Caroline Manzo, Jacqueline Loretta, Dina Manzo, and Danielle Staub. Teresa, a bubbly Italian-American mom of four, stood out immediately. With her thick accent, her love for shopping, and her famous one-liners, "Happy wife, happy life," she was destined to become a fan favorite. Still, no one knew that she would literally flip the table, cementing herself in Bravo history during the Season 1 finale. The salary that shocked fans. According to reports from insiders close to the franchise, Teresa Giudice earned around $50,000 for the entire first season of Housewives of New Jersey. Yes, that's 5 figures, not 6, not 7. By Hollywood standards, that was pocket change. To put it in perspective, some reality stars on MTV, the Jersey Shore cast, for example, were raking in over $100,000 per episode by their second season. Teresa's first season Bravo contract reportedly did not include any profit share for merchandise or special appearances. At the time, she was already living a lifestyle that appeared much more expensive, thanks in part to her now infamous use of credit cards and loans. This meant that Teresa was essentially funding her glamorous image out of her own pocket, while Bravo reaped the rewards of her larger-than-life personality. Why so low? When asked why the Housewives' early salaries were so low, industry experts point to Bravo's strategy. Season 1 contracts were designed to test whether the show would succeed. Housewives were replaceable, and Bravo had no incentive to pay big salaries for women who had never been on TV before. In other words, Bravo viewed the Housewives as lucky to be featured, not as professionals deserving of Hollywood salaries. The network assumed the exposure itself would be valuable, and in many ways it was. For Teresa, that pathetic $50,000 paycheck was not the endgame, it was just the beginning of an empire. Teresa's rise to Bravo royalty. What makes this salary revelation so shocking is how far Teresa has come since then. Today, Teresa is rumored to earn over $1 million per season of RHONJ, making her one of the highest-paid housewives across the franchise. Her journey from $50,000 to $1 million is a masterclass in turning reality TV fame into real financial power. 1. The table flip effect. Her infamous outburst at Danielle Staub in Season 1 became one of the most replayed moments in Bravo history. That scene alone guaranteed her future on the show. 2. Books and business ventures. Teresa went on to write multiple cookbooks, including Skinny Italian and Fabulicious, which landed on the New York Times bestseller list. She also released a line of wines and hair care products. 3. Dancing with the Stars and celebrity appearances. After her stint in federal prison for fraud charges, Teresa rebranded herself with fitness competitions and talk show appearances. She even competed on Dancing with the Stars. 4. Enduring popularity. Unlike many housewives who come and go, Teresa has remained the face of RHONJ for over a decade. Fans tune in for her storylines, whether they involve her legal battles, her family drama, or her lavish wedding to Louis Rulas. The irony of Teresa's finances. It's almost poetic. In Season 1, Teresa was flashing cash, buying furniture with wads of bills, and building a mansion. Yet her reality TV paycheck was far from glamorous. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, she and her then-husband Joe Giudice were drowning in debt, ultimately leading to bankruptcy and criminal charges. Her Season 1 salary revelation highlights the irony of her early years. She looked like she was living the dream, but financially she was barely scraping by. The show magnified her lifestyle, but Bravo's modest paycheck did not match the illusion. Fans react, pathetic or smart business. When the figure was revealed, many fans were outraged. How could Bravo pay so little to the woman who single-handedly put RHONJ on the map? Calling it pathetic, critics argued that Teresa deserved more. But others pointed out that without Bravo's platform, Teresa might never have achieved the fame she enjoys today. That $50,000 may have been small, but it was the seed money that launched her empire. From book deals to endorsement opportunities, the exposure was priceless. What this means for housewives today. Teresa's Season 1 paycheck is also a lesson for newer housewives. The Bravo universe has since expanded massively, and new cast members often earn closer to $60,000, $100,000 in their first seasons. While still modest compared to Hollywood actors, it's a recognition of how valuable these women are to the brand. And as Teresa proved, the real money isn't just in Bravo paychecks. It's in leveraging the platform for personal businesses, appearances, and long-term branding. From pathetic pay to million-dollar checks. The journey of Teresa Giudice's Housewives salary is the ultimate rags to riches, with a pit stop in prison, reality TV story. From a modest $50,000 to over $1 million per season, she embodies both the pitfalls and the power of Bravo fame. Season 1 may have paid pathetic money, but without that starting point, Teresa would never have built the empire she has today. She may have flipped tables, faced bankruptcy, served time, and reinvented herself, but one thing is certain. Teresa Giudice is no longer a woman settling for a pathetic salary. She's a Bravo queen, paid her worth, and then some.